Good to go.
We are Cramp Killer. I'm Brady Lenderman.
I'm Nick Laxton.
I'm Giovanni Monti.
I'm Shiv Patel.
I'm Robert Dunleavy.
So last fall, I was playing varsity football, and our opponent this week was Conant. And we were 5-4, and this was to get to an even record. So it's the fourth quarter after a long, tough game, and I line up, and there's 3 minutes left on the clock, and the ball gets snapped, and I go. I'm a defensive lineman, and I get a cramp right in my leg. Causes me to fall down, get taken out of the game, and possibly miss a game-changing tackle. I'm not alone. Over 95% of athletes have experienced muscle cramps before in their life, and you do not want to be out of the game due to a muscle cramp. The number one cause for a muscle cramp is electrolyte deficiency. And a muscle cramp is when your muscles tighten up and causes a lot of pain.
So since our problem is so complex and science-based, we want to consult experts. This is where Dr. Bob Murray comes in. He has a sports science PhD from Ohio University, and he was also the director of the Gatorade Sports Science Institute for 23 years. He helped with like product like Gatorade Light, which you might have seen in the lunch line recently. And he also now owns his own company, Sports Science Insight. When talking to Dr. Murray, we came up with a tablet which would include spice and tartness, as well as the five main electrolytes. So these electrolytes all help prevent muscle cramps. Potassium, sodium, and chloride help balance and maintain fluid in your blood, while magnesium and calcium help nerve signals travel safely and without misfiring throughout your body. These all can prevent muscle cramps. The flavoring is also a factor, as in your mouth there are TRP receptors, also known as your taste buds. When these are stimulated with like a spice or a tartness, they send signals to your brain, which then in turn send signals throughout the body to try and calm them down. These signals can help prevent muscle cramps and nerves from misfiring. This is why we came up with a base base ingredients with our 5 main electrolytes: paprika for a spice element, lemon lime concentrate for a tartness element, as well as to balance out the spice element, and then a binding agent to keep our tablet together. This will make it an all-natural product because we have all natural ingredients. It'll be fast-acting because it's dissolved in water, which can be ingested and absorbed into the blood to prevent muscle cramps faster. And then we'll have eco-friendly packaging without like plastic, so it'll be better for the environment.
So here's a mock-up of our product. As you can see, we have eco-friendly packaging, tablet bottle made out of paper. And this is what one of the 6 tablets in the bottle would look like. And then you just consume it with water before physical activity. And then here are our direct and indirect competitors to Cramp Killer. Hot Shot and Liquid IV are direct competitors, and indirect and Noon's a direct competitor. And as you can see, in one serving we have the most electrolytes. And also we're one of the only brands out there with no added sugars and eco-friendly packaging. Plus, one serving for one of our tablets is the cheapest out of all of these.
This is our customer persona. So we're going after a high school athlete who trains frequently and has training duration over 30 minutes, because as science has proven, training over 30 minutes is usually where people get more cramps.
So our total addressable market revenue is $8.2 billion per year. We got this by using Statista to find the sports recovery medication industry's total addressable market revenue. Then we got our serviceable addressable market revenue by finding all the potential customers we could get in the Chicagoland area. We get $279,600 per year. And then for our market share, we got $8,400 per year by having a 3% conversion rate from our potential customers.
So these are our market strategies. First, our TikTok. We're gonna post video updates about like our product and like video explainer how to use it and like what's in it. Our posters at the gym, we're asking $100 for these. They're gonna have a picture of like our prototype and then our QR code, which goes to our landing page, what could explain them more about who we are, what's in our product, and like who we've worked with to like back us up. And then lastly, our Instagram page. We're going to use this to email high school athletes near us to get them more knowing about our product. And then in our Instagram, we have our website link where they can figure out more about us. And then go to our channels. As of now, we're only going to sell it on our website because selling it in all these other places is going to lead us with less money like that we earn. And in the future, we want to go to athletic stores like Dick's, Dick Pond, and like bike shops because a lot of these people get cramps more. And then we also want to sell it on Amazon. Our revenue streams as of now is only on our website. And in the future, we want to have a subscription service so that athletes can buy it during their season, so like monthly. So like for football season, it's like 3 months, so they'll buy the 3-month service, and then they can put how many tablets they want in a bottle for those 3 months.
So this leads us into our MVP. So for our MVP, instead of developing a tablet to solve our solution, we're going to create a prototype powder because it's easier to manufacture ourselves, and it solves the same problems with most of the same ingredients. And this will cost $4.59 per unit, as we are charging $6.99 per unit. And in each unit, there is 6 servings, so 6 tablets or 6 packets of our solution. And then for our MVP in total, we're asking for $500, and this will be used for purchasing necessary ingredients, packaging supplies, and for testing, marketing, and selling it eventually. And then for phase 1 of our testing, we'll be using $200, and this will lead us to develop 258 servings, which we will test the ingredients involved, the flavoring, and just the ratios with everything that we will need. And then this will just help us focus on the base of our product. This leads us into phase 2, which will be using $100 and make an additional 21 units, which is 126 servings. And from this, we'll use our information from our first phase to make necessary changes and then test with athletes around our area. For example, some football players, endurance runners, all endurance athletes, and weightlifters, so they can test and we can see what they think about it. And then this leads us into phase 3, which we'll be using $100 to manufacture 21 units. And with these 21 units, we're going to try to sell them, charging $6.99 per unit and expecting a revenue of $146. And with this, we can test the process of selling our product and see what people think of our price point and test if it is at the right level. So in total, we're asking for $500 with $200 to phase 1, $100 to phase 2, $100 for selling our product in phase 3, and then additionally $100 for marketing, which includes like the posters in gyms with QR codes mentioned before.
We are Cramp Killer, no pain, all gain.
You have, so I mean, I like your product. I think one of the benefits, I know you're focused on students, is how portable it is, and not having to muck around with, do I bring a Gatorade or water in my bag? You can just bring water and you have this, and you can't look around anymore without someone pouring some sort of powder thing for whatever reason. So there, I mean, there might be an adult segment for this too. That's good. When you talked to Bob, was there any concern about a medical claim or something with this product that might create? You know, I know you may go so far as trying to sell this during your MVP. Like, is there a medical issue or legal issue associated with, you know, with your product?
So having you need a lot more than like you need a lot of electrolytes for it to be like dangerous. So like our amount that we're gonna have is not gonna be like threatening at all. Yeah.
But will it be effective enough to support your claims?
Yeah, that's like because like the more the merrier for electrolytes, but like
Well,
like
no,
not
no,
like
no, no,
not like
no.
you know
But there are legal responsibilities for that. Either one, you can have evidence to support your claim, or two, you won't do any harm to someone. So it's both ends of this.
And for something like this, it may be the way you wordsmith your product.
Might just get guidance from him on that, the right way to say it's effective, safe and effective, I think, but I think that's actually a food marketing term, so you just want to be careful with that. Can I just say that the difference in you guys from when I was in here a few weeks ago to right now, Pods, would you agree with me, is outstanding. Guys, I feel like I'm seeing a difference. I am bowled over, and here's for everybody. They heard the feedback. I am astounded at the progress, and for that alone, you guys look like a real team. And you got a real product and a real idea, and I am astounded at the difference since I was here a few weeks ago. So I just want to applaud you for that. A question that I have is, as you go about testing it, and I appreciate how you laid out those, can you just talk to us a little bit more about what feedback you're going to be looking to get from the various groups you have in these test phases? What sort of survey, input, feedback are you looking to get? Can you share that with us, please?
Well, one, we just want to see if it works, because different people have different reasons for muscle cramps, so not everything works for everyone, so we want to have as many solutions as we can. And then also we want to test out flavors, and because that's also a big part of our product, because you're going to be drinking it, you're not going to want to drink something that tastes bad, because you're just not going to drink it.
And then also in our second phase of testing, we'll be giving it to athletes in our area, and then we'll test athletes from all variety of different sports, and then see how they feel, if they cramp, how their sweat is because it's related to electrolytes. And then also we're just going to test the ratio to see how much water is needed to fully dissolve and all that.
So who's putting together this compound? Is that the physician research scientist that you shared?
So, yeah,
Well,
so,
who designed the formula?
so the formula is designed by Dr. Bob because we had a meeting with him, and he just basically gave us the right amounts of electrolytes that we will need to be effective, and that's what.
So is he taking on the liability if someone reacts adversely to this?
Well, most supplements are actually not responsible for it and FDA approved. Like it says on the back of the bottle, 90% of supplements that they're not responsible, and still young kids buy them.
But to answer your, we wouldn't be responsible for any incidents we have, but like we said before, with the right electrolytes, there really is no. It's very difficult to overdo it, so it shouldn't really be an issue.
I kind of just. I don't
Mr.
wanna-
Attorney?
Well, no, I'm not going to dig deep into it. I'll ask you guys to think of it as two components to it, right? There's the actual materials themselves, but then there's also the manner in which it's packaged. And the packaging may actually cause some adverse bacteria or contamination that, while the ingredients may be fine, that's why I think sometimes you hear these shows, or the restaurants, they go for clean kitchens or things that they know, so maybe, you're just kind of not there yet, but maybe just kind of conceptually think about it. The thing that I was going to ask you kind of for some thoughts on are, when you're kind of testing or getting feedback from the athletes, I think, one of your major claims is that this reduces cramps if you take this. And I would think when you come back and present to us, one of the things we're going to be looking for is something empirically that is going to prove your claim. Because I think it's not enough to say, well, if you take these things, it's going to reduce it. I think you need to provide us some evidence to show that these things work and are a combination, and when taken the way we presented to these athletes. And I say this only because I think you need to do some pre-structuring, kind of set some baselines, so that you have something to compare to when you're getting feedback from. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Can you show us the phases again so we can understand what you're testing in each phase and how much money you're asking for each phase? I think that'd be useful for us here real quick.
Or you want the slide or the?
No, actually, because I can't remember what you're testing in each phase. I think, because it's a lot that you're testing. And I think we're trying to say, hey, hone in on the variables that are either the riskiest part or the things, when you mention something like how much water does it dissolve in? That is something you can test on your own.
Yeah.
You don't need users to be testing that necessarily, so you can get, anyway. And you want to, again, you've got a lot to test, so how do you attack it concretely and this? So this one is, you're testing just ingredients and flavors, meaning?
So we'll be testing the electrolytes, how they dissolve, and then the ratio of flavors and concentrates that we'll need to make it taste better than it would without.
Who are you testing this with?
This will just be like our own group and just testing like without like ingesting anything.
And then we could like make like different type flavors, and then you can have like a bunch for when we actually like start trialing it on like actual athletes. Then we can take their feedback and learn from it and then improve our product.
Show us phase 2 then, real quick. Go back.
Go back.
So, phase 1, you're gonna have proof of, we know the exact ingredients to put in, we're gonna make 43 servings, we're gonna have some ideas on flavors that taste okay. Okay. You're gonna go into phase 2. You need $100 more to do 21 units, and you're gonna be giving these to people.
Well, first we'll make like the necessary changes and then.
Gotcha. So this phase is when you plan to get, did this work or not, to Mike's point, which is, did it prevent cramps, or did it help my athletic performance? Okay.
Do you guys have other things besides taste that you're measuring, like dissolvability? You know, like the ratio of different ingredients might have a completely different cost structure because, you know, this formula may cost 10 times more than this formula, but it's almost, you can't tell the difference in taste, so maybe you go with this. Do you
Yeah.
guys have other criteria?
Well, that will be tested in phase 1 and then we'll look into that because obviously we can't like test it now because we don't have the.
Wow, I'm really kind of intimidated by all the different elements of this that need to be proved out. And starting with the very first basic of efficacy, of does it work? And just the sense of potential risk that this puts you in front of, even though vitamins and fish oil and all that kind of jazz does not need to be FDA approved, I'm just quite honestly intimidated by the weight that you're taking on. Because this needs to be much closer to a scientific study of what this does to the body. And I'm envisioning you're gonna have control groups going on for those who don't take it, those who do, compare the data, or you're saying, no, we're just going for the fluffy stuff.
I mean, I think we can do the control groups, because right across the street, there's a Sports Science Institute facility.
Yeah, they've got other things that they're being paid to do though. I mean, is there anything on the market that you could use as a stand-in to get proof of concept that if there's
Like the
more
Pedialyte
diligent.
packets or something?
Exactly, Pedialyte packets, the powders that they're already sold, that basically gets electrolytes back into dehydrated people. That can, where you don't take on that liability of the product itself, but you can prove that if you can take it religiously before your workout, an hour before your workout, whatever, everything is more in tune and more in balance so that you're less likely to have muscle cramps. Your mentor, what's their take on this?
Well, so, can you repeat the question, please? Like just,
Liability.
liability.
Mhm.
Well, I think it's just more like we need to, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, we'll just have to look into it.
We'll have to talk to them about
Yeah, do
like
more research
liability.
on it.
When are you starting your marketing? Are you doing that kind of in parallel with your product experiments?
We've started a little bit because we've made our Instagram page, we've also made our landing page, which they can visit and learn about our product. And then we have the Instagram page where we can reach people, like athletes around our area, as well as like give them updates on our product.
Because I think for something like this, there's kind of a transitive property. Like it's proven that electrolytes, help with cramps, and it's proven that this has electrolytes. But that third part of,
Right.
bringing
So-
in the transitive
so
property,
to
maybe
just-
you don't make that claim
Yeah,
yet,
so-
but you,
But to poke
the
at
other
this a
two
little
in
bit
there.
more, the problem is real. This solution is one option. Solutions already exist way beyond what you presented, and I know you guys probably did that research. Are there other gaps, though, that perhaps you could help with? Like people forget to hydrate before an extensive workout, before heat gain and all that, and are there other solutions that you can basically insert yourself to the athletes so they don't forget to hydrate before X, Y, Z? do you,
1 minute.
does the solution have to be that you're literally gonna do your own chemistry experiment and people are gonna just take you at your word that what you're telling them to ingest is good and safe?
Well, that's why we talked with Dr. Bob, because he also helped us like figure out like how this works. And, like how he knows because he used some of it in other products that he's made,
Okay.
that's actually.
And then can you help me understand, when you did your interviews, your problem interviews, how many did you do?
I'm not sure the exact number, but I interviewed a bunch of numbers off my baseball team, so they,
Okay.
like, they all, yeah.
And so you interviewed other
Like,
men, other boys. Did anyone interview girls? The girls in this
They don't talk to
classroom,
girls much.
if you say cramp killers, I'm just gonna ask, the females in this classroom, if you say cramp killers, is your first thought a muscle cramp? Probably not. So think about your name as well. Interview both boys and girls.
All right, numbers, what we got?
Click one more slide for me, please. Click one more slide. Okay, and then that's your turn. Okay.
It's complex, guys.
I'm gonna remind you about Mellow Shot
Uh-huh, yep.
I was thinking about that.
that they sold.
Yeah.
So-
Right, yeah.
So with Mellow Shot, we also made them get liability insurance.
Right?
Not on MVP stage.
Right.
No, you didn't.
They didn't at
No, it's
MVP
after-
stage have a medical, or have someone advising
Right,
them.
they do have a
And
semi,
No,
this is
Mellow
nice
Shot
that you
did
have
not, I'm
Dr.
saying.
Bob.
Yeah, they just made it.
Yeah.
First year, there was a mosquito repellent
Yeah.
juice as well.
I remember that.
So this is, there's precedence here, Mr. Lawyer.
But I think if you're buying, you know, an inert product available on the market and mixing it with another product that's available on the market, I mean, I'm not saying I'll be the guinea pig, but
I did try melatonin, the Mellow Shot, I did try
how
it.
it work.
He's still
Not for me,
standing?
I'm still, yeah, I still don't sleep. What do we got?
I couldn't sleep with this.
Yeah, I think that's
Here's a lot of
good, the
product.
way you're staging
Yeah.
your development. You know, don't buy it all at once. And,
Yep,
Do not.
yep.
you know, make sure you're tracking what you're measuring and how it's comparing with different versions of what you're making.
The number's good? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right,
Good luck, guys.
all right, congratulations.